a song coming on. Clap, snap, the black crack. Grip, grab.
All right. Well, after a long-awaited time, we are back, folks, and we are hot off Adepticon.
Yeah, welcome to Down to Podcast Town. It has been a while.
Yes, we have been down for a while, but we are back now.
Yeah.
And we were only gone for awesome things. Good things have been happening in our lives, and we've been a little bit busy with that. And one of the things we've been busy with is planning for Adepticon, because we didn't just go to Adepticon. Nathan was invited to the first ever North American Masters.
Yeah.
So we'll start with that.
Yeah. I'm just going to summarize the Masters pretty quickly so we can jump into the GT at Adepticon. Masters had 24 players. They were chosen from leagues throughout Canada and North America based off of winning. I think it was an event with 30 or more people.
Yeah, that was
that
one
earned
of
you
the
that earned you a ticket, or winning a league. And do you remember how many different people had to be in the league for that?
I don't know if there's a threshold, I think. But
okay.
Yeah, I think maybe 30 people again.
I thought it was more than that.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, so that's how people earned a ticket. And then there was last chance qualifiers, which happened.
3 of those.
Yeah, 3 tickets were given out via last chance qualifiers the day before the Masters event at Adepticon. Or not Adepticon, at Adepticon. So I earned my ticket through winning our league in the NorCal Hobbit League. And yeah, so I just showed up there. I decided to bring Rise of the Necromancer, and I brought a Necromancer, the Witch King, Hunter Orc Captain on a Warg, a bunch of Hunter Orcs, and a few Spiders and Warg Riders. And yeah, so the Masters, obviously, I was like a super competitive event. It was, my first experience in something like that. My first game was against Alisher and his hobbits. I can't remember how many hobbits he had. A lot. I think it was like 80 or something.
Yeah, he had a lot.
And then Gandalf on cart, and all the different rules that I still don't remember for the various heroes and bubbles and So, and it was the I think it was the objective scenario. It was the one with like destroy the supplies, and treasure hoard, and all those scenarios. So I vetoed destroy the supplies because he had, I think Rosie.
Yeah, she counts as a banner.
She counts as a banner. So, and I didn't have a banner, so I vetoed that one. And can't remember which one he vetoed, but we ended up playing treasure hoard, and that game was kind of. So my record at the Masters was 1-3. I feel like most of my games were competitive. I recognize where I could go better, so I'm going to go into more details about that. But most of my games did come down to kind of like an important role that just didn't go my way, which that's kind of the game. I always try to analyze it on a deeper level than that, because what could I have done better to not put myself into a position to where I needed that role to go my way, right? So the game against Alisher's Hobbits, it was a little, it was tough. There was a ton of bows, ton of models, and in Treasure Hoard, right, you start in your kind of back bubble, 12-inch bubble. You have your 3 objectives in front of you got to pick up with intelligence checks. And then your opponent has the same. You get points for holding your objectives, and you get 2 points for having models on the other end of the board, and then points for breaking and for general, right? So right off the bat, I thought I had an advantage because I could get across the board, and I did. My Spiders and Warg Riders flew across the board, and I knew I was kind of up from the start. And it was just a matter really of whether or not he could break me, which eventually he did, because he shot at all of his bows all the time, and got about 7 or 8 kills before we engaged. And so I think he broke me on the second to last turn, and at that point I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure he's got this. I have to kind of try a Hail Mary to get to one of the objectives, because throughout the game I had one opportunity that in hindsight I should have taken to maybe sneak an objective from him. I measured it, and we confirmed that my Hunter Orc captain was in charge range of a random hobbit and could then heroic combat into Farmer Maggot, who had picked up an objective. But at that point, I would have been out of might, and he would have been all by himself, like out there. And Alisher had like several heroes that had might that were going to call heroic moves and
Trap me.
Yeah. So, and at that point, I still wasn't sure if I was going to need a might on the side of the board to ensure that I had the models over there and that I could move them around so that he couldn't trap them, you know? So I didn't go for it. I probably should have, because that was my only opportunity on that side of the board to get to the objective before he was able to kind of bubble it up with a bunch of bodies, and I couldn't get to it. On the other side of the board, the Necromancer had an opportunity to chill soul random hobbit and then compel out, I think it was Mary who had an objective. The random hobbit, who, by the way, this army's whole resistant to magic, random hobbit rolls the natty 6, doesn't get chill souled, so I can't. The Necromancer could have then gone and picked up an objective of Mary's.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So those were like my only two real opportunities to get the objective. One I chose not to do, and one he resisted. You know? And so in hindsight, I probably should have done that heroic combat. That was like my one like decision I think I regret. And the game ended, I think you get 3 points for each objective, right? So I think it was, he had all three objectives, 3, 6, 9. I think he broke me and remained unbroken, so 12. And I had all three of mine, and I had models on the other edge of the board, so it was 12 to 11.
Okay. I think it's 2 points per each
Is it
objective,
two?
because there's 6 total.
8? Okay, so it was 8. So then it was 11 to 10 then. He beat me by 1 point, because he had broken me, which was worth 3 points, and I had models on the other end of the board, which was worth 2.
Right. And then no leader wounds on either side.
No leader wounds,
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so round 2 was against Halls of Thranduil, piloted by Sam, and that was in the kill scenario pool, which is kind of a rough draw, just matchup-wise.
Yeah.
That's really what Halls does really well, is kill. And again, like I try to analyze from a perspective of what I could have done better. In this one, I chose to veto to the death, even though he didn't have a banner, which did allow him, which we rolled into assassination, and he has Legolas, right? So I knew that was going to be tricky if that's what I chose, but he also had like a bunch of elf bows, and in all of my practice games with Necromancer, 12-inch deployment, you get shot to death before anything can happen, right? He had Legolas, he had Tariel, and he had quite a few elf bows himself. So that's why I vetoed to the death, which allowed the possibility of us to play assassination. And yeah, it was between assassination and I think lords were the two, and we roll into assassination. And so maybe that was the wrong choice for me in hindsight, but I'm still not quite sure.
I think he would have castled on to the death, right?
I think he would have too. And then
That would be taking a draw, potentially?
probably. So
Yeah.
either way, like I wasn't interested in taking a draw or getting shot to death. So I wanted to try my hand at assassination, even with Legolas. So in this game, we picked your assassins and your target. So you get points for keeping your assassin alive at the end of the game, right? So I actually kind of went in with a reverse thought of like, okay, Legolas can probably kill whoever I choose. It doesn't matter. I actually want to kill my target with my non-assassin so that I don't ever put my assassin in danger and have my assassin on the back of the board so there's no chance. And at the end of the game, I will have my 2 points for keeping my assassin alive, right? And I also had a feeling he was going to choose my Hunter Orc captain as his target because it's easier to kill than the Witch King. So I was like, okay, if I can just keep that captain in the back, deny him his points for killing his target, and also ensure that I have my assassin alive.
Yeah,
that's
2
why
DPs, I think, right?
Yeah, so that's why that was my thought, was I was going to send him back. Well, first turn of the game, he gets off his sentinel thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can't. And he moves him up 10 inches. We play, people kill each other. Next round, same thing. I fail the intelligence check. I was like, okay, that's like 20 inches. I can't do anything about it. Rolled snake eyes. And so, pulled him up to the side. And I'm like, okay, I still have a chance. I moved my Necromancer over, and I was like, I got to win the heroic move off because I could still save him, right? Didn't win the heroic move off. He gets into him with Thranduil and he does enough wounds that he doesn't quite kill him. And then on the next turn, Legolas just snipes him. So it was like a series of 4 turns in a row of it going fairly like on plan for him.
Yeah.
And then he got him. It's like, okay, well, my strategy.
What is your intelligence on him? 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
But I didn't even have a chance to like might the rolls, which I would have spent all 2 of his might if I could have.
Right.
And
he doesn't need line of sight for that because it's music.
No, so it was actually like kind of an open board. Like he had line of sight. Yeah, there was nothing really obvious for me to hide behind.
Gotcha.
It was like, it was a board with a couple of big like rock pieces, but they were like so spaced out, and the way that I deployed, like I literally the first turn, like I was going to be gone, but it just didn't happen.
Gotcha. It was board 7, wasn't it?
I don't remember. Okay. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like I'm pretty sure Legolas was assassin. I'm pretty sure he just killed this guy. I gotta send it. So I did. On the last turn, I had a chance to kill Tauriel, wasn't able to do it. He broke me, so it was a pretty convincing win to him. I feel like my strategy was okay. It was just a matter of getting my freaking guy out of dodge, which would have made a difference. Mm-hmm.
But he went the other way.
He went the other way. He went straight forward.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that game.
Okay. So you're now at this point minor loss, and was that a major?
I think that was a major.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So then on to round 3, I pulled Julian running his Crebain spam Y hand list, and lo and behold, it was the maneuvering scenario, which was like the worst. And it's funny because I built my list with the intention of being able to beat Crebain spam, anything like Balrogs or Eagles or Ents, things with like no fate, right?
Yeah.
And in particular, the Necromancer is really good because he can transfix a bird, he can compel a different bird, he can kill 2 birds because he has the Drain Soul thing, right? So he can control the birds pretty well. But that's like, in the maneuvering scenarios, like Julian played it really well. He like kind of just held him back and then flew him, made sure he got his Oathmaker nearby so the terror didn't matter, and just kind of moved him around. That one, it's pretty straightforward. I ran forward, and my plan was to die as fast as possible on the objectives and win, and that is exactly what happened. I rolled the 2, the first possible chance. If it had gone on one more turn, he would have destroyed me. But yeah, so I just charged forward, had the Necromancer in the middle of hold ground. No,
Divide
and conquer.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was that. So
did one of you get rid of recon?
I got rid of recon.
The birds, right?
Yeah. I can't remember how many he had.
And then escort the wounded. And then the other one is storm the camp. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I vetoed recon. I mean, he had so many birds. I had the spiders that like were really fast in Dom 2, and I had some Warg Riders too, but I think he just had too many.
The spiders are Dom 2?
Yeah.
Nice.
Spiders are Dom 2.
Cool.
So he just had too many birds. And
yeah.
I
mean, it was 14, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I figured, hold ground. I keep saying that. Divide and conquer was the best for me because the Necromancer is Dom 5, and you get points for having your leader right there in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I knew if he got the Oathmaker anywhere close, he was going to be chill souled to death. So,
right.
I had those points at least. So.
And his general was the Oathmaker?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So. He kept his Oathmaker way the hell away. He made sure not to get anywhere close to the Necromancer. Mm-hmm. But he was in a strategic spot to where he could keep sending the birds in fearless, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which was a really good play. And yeah, he was just really hoping that 1 or 2 wasn't rolled, and it was.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's the break sometimes.
yeah. So that was a lucky win to me. And then the last round was, what was the last round? We ended up playing Domination. So that
Zach, and
yeah,
he brought
that
the
was
double
against
bird.
Zach. He brought Men of the West, but not with Legolas. He brought Gwaihir and a bird friend instead.
Men of the West. I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I've heard of that list before.
Yes.
Yeah. Sounds familiar.
I think that list was played.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he brought the extra bird, which that is really what gave me a fighting chance, I think, in this game, because his army, like the first round, killed like 10 of my orcs. Like he won every fight and wounded every time. But I got the paralyze off on his bird, and his extra bird was dead like really quick. So even though he killed like 10 of my guys, I had killed a bird. So it was like
100 points.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'll take that. Like even though that was a lot. But
yeah.
And then the next round, Gwaihir was Necromancer did really good shutting down Gwaihir, and Gwaihir was gone after like 2 more rounds of that. And yeah, and it came down to me being broken, and my chieftain, not my chieftain, my Hunter Orc captain, failing his courage check, which would have provided the standfast to hold 2 objectives. And he ran, and then
both guys fled.
No, they did. They stayed actually, but
okay.
Because I had called a heroic. He had priority. I called a heroic move with the captain. Captain snake-eyed his courage check, which is the theme of this tournament.
Yeah.
This
captain.
This captain
is not that guy.
Sucked. He He did not want to be where he should have been.
Yeah.
So he snake eyes it, and then I was like, I can't do anything. So he ran, and the heroic move didn't go off, which meant he was able to get some guys onto the objectives. Mm-hmm. Right? Because if my heroic move had gone off, he wouldn't have been close enough.
They tie him up. They keep him off, yeah.
Yep. He didn't have any might on that side.
Yeah.
So, and I had the captain, a couple spiders, and warg riders. So, like, it was really that one thing, and that's how it went.
Okay.
But, so then it ended up being, he had 2 objectives. I had, he had 2 objectives uncontested. I had 1 objective uncontested, 1 that I doubled him up on, and then 1 we both pushed on.
Okay.
And he had broken me. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, if the captain had not ran, that the game would have ended, and I would have been sitting on 3 uncontested objectives. So.
Okay. Did his captain survive?
Yeah, I didn't really bother with his captain too much. I was too focused on the bird and Aragorn.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Both birds.
Yeah. So yeah, Masters tournament, awesome. Super nice guys, super competitive people. All the games came down to like the last turn or 2, which is how it should be in ultra competitive games, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, awesome experience.
Yeah, those are 750 point games.
Yep.
2 hours, 15 minutes per round. And I think you guys did pool play, but random pool, right? Like
we
Josh
didn't know
was just rolling it out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And one of those you rolled right into a really tough one with 2 of them really tough, I think. Mm-hmm. Right? The 5 scenario, the 5 pool against Julian, and then Sam and the
Kelly one. Yeah.
Yeah, those are tough.
Yeah, those are tough, but that's how it goes.
All right. Mm-hmm. While Nathan was doing that, I was playing doubles. Had an amazing partner. We played Men of the West with Imrahil because he was playing fiefdoms in the GT, and I was playing Men of the West in the GT, and I had mounted Aragorn. Super fun. That was a more casual event. It was supposed to be friendly. People went really all out. I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun, and it was a great way to kind of like wet the palate for the weekend. While Nathan's playing really stressful, high intensity games, I'm playing like very fun doubles games, more casual list. So, yeah, his name was Antoine. He's my partner. Shout out to him. We had a great day. So let's go to the GT.
Yeah. So the GT.
Yep.
So the Masters was on Friday. and the doubles.
Yep.
And then the GT was on Saturday. We had 4 games, and Sunday we had 2.
Yeah.
Right. And 108 people.
108.
108 people in the tournament.
Yeah. Want me to go?
Go ahead.
So my goal for the tournament was just to do well. I don't know whatever that considers to be good. And I started off with a really tough matchup to start. Right, they rolled pool 1, which I play really well into for Men of the West because there's some Dom opportunities, and then I am also pretty decently mobile for Stake of Claim. But I was playing into what I consider a hard counter for Men of the West. If anyone's wondering what those might be, Muster of Isengard is one of them. They have Hatred Man. My opponent, I believe his name was Cody. He brought Berserker spam, so they're also fight 5. They can 2-hand, and that means they're wounding on 3s, which is great. Hatred Man 2-handing, needing 5s to start. It looks good. They had Grima, right? And then our board was interesting. It had 2 main pieces of terrain. We ended up deciding to do a bottleneck situation in the middle, and this is breakthrough. So didn't really pay too much attention on this one side objective. We both decided that we're going to just kind of send warriors over there to contest it. The angle that I might have played a little bit too into was you can get 2 VPs for wounding the highest point model on the other opponent's team for that one. His was Vrasku. He deployed Vrasku first, right at the front, kind of. And I'm like, oh, okay, this could be turn 1. I could have this guy taken out if Gwahir doesn't, fail a transfix or something. So I kind of was hyper-focused on just getting those 2 and being up. Because he also had a banner. I think you get 2 points for that. So I was trying to even the score. He did a great job bubbling Saruman, so I couldn't get to him. The new barge rules, good new barge rules, weren't going to allow me to compel a bunch of dudes out of the way to get to Saruman. So he had his protected flank there, really good. And then I believe I got he decided if he was going to do the Palantir turn 1. He was actually considering it. He didn't. I won priority or a roll-off or something, and that allowed it wasn't a roll-off. He just gave it to me. Yeah, because it allowed Aragorn to send warriors into the front line and then go behind his own warriors and tag his captain. So his captain was dead turn 1.
Okay.
So we got that one out of the way. The might was gone from the center, but it was all on Saruman, and then Vrasku called a heroic move literally just to get out of dodge. And I let it. I maybe should have contested it, but he let his Vrasku was just took it and moved to the middle, hide behind guys so that Gwahir couldn't get him. And then really, in that game, my heroes just were really rough. And there are a lot of points in this list. Legolas couldn't roll 5s to wound Vrasku or Saruman. Gwahir got to Saruman eventually. Couldn't put enough wounds through to get 1 wound. He faded all his fate. Spent a point of might to get the 3rd one, so he's untouched. And then Grima did a great job locking Aragorn down, which is a good counter, and then eventually moved towards my back objective with a couple berserkers, as I was kind of out of might in that area now, relatively out of might with Aragorn. You can't call heroics if you have 1 might left. You get taxed. So, yeah, it was a really good game. I lost, and I got major loss. I think it was 12-6. He played it really well, and then also made sure his guys were at the back objective. So even when Gwahir tried to go over there, it wasn't enough. He had my back one, the most important one. I had nobody there. So just came down to, I think I didn't have enough models because the hatred was ripping through everything. It did a great job. So really fun game. We interacted with terrain a little bit. I had a Rohan guy take his banner out on a throwing spear. That's pretty lucky. I consider that lucky. Yeah, so good game. Started off 0-1.
So my game was against Army of Erebor, and I think my opponent's name was John. I apologize if I'm wrong. We played Capture and Control, and this one was it was tough, but the Necromancer, again, he's able to shut down. It was a pretty hero-heavy list. But he also had a ton of might because of it, right? He had Gimli, he had Glorian, he had Nori, and he had was it Young Thorin?
Thorin?
Is it Thorin? No, not Young Thorin. Just Thorin, the Army of Erebor.
Army of Erebor would be Young Thorin.
No, Young Thorin,
yeah,
sure.
The one with the pick?
I think so.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Yeah.
So that's like 3, 6, 9, 12 might.
Yeah.
Plus each of them gets a free heroic combat. It's
Yeah.
a lot of might.
It's a lot of might.
And yeah, he used it. He used it for a lot of moves, a lot of combats. But Necromancer is really good at shutting down heroes. And so whenever I saw the opportunity for him to maybe get off a clutch heroic combat, that's the model I would target with my Transfix.
To shut it down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then I think I just did some like random chill souls on his leader or his or I think it was Gimli who was like in. I just kind of really wanted to target Gimli. He was in like a really strategic spot. So
Okay, just pressure him a little bit.
yeah, yeah. And then it was a pretty straightforward win, I would say, because he never had the mobility to contest very many. He always had the ability to push forward and just like lock down a couple. So I really was able to focus 90% of my list into like contesting a couple of objectives, and the rest were like the Warg Riders, my captain, and the spiders were everywhere else.
Okay.
And we were able to tag it, and I didn't have to really leave too many behind because he just could never get there to.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
to
Was
get the
this,
objectives.
what's scenario is this again? Domination?
Capture and control.
Oh, capture and control. Yeah, tag it and leave it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was able to really bring my full force to a couple of key points, whereas he was fighting on a couple of important parts for him and never really had the opportunity to get the ones I'd already tagged.
Yeah. Specifically the back too. Like he's gonna have a hard time threatening your back one.
Yeah, he was never close to the back one. He was also never close to the one on my right. He just the way the fights went down is I that was the side that went really well for me, and I killed a lot of his guys, and so he was just like, "Yep, I'm not gonna get that one," and he pulled. That was also the side his leader was on, so he ended up pulling his leader back to help defend his back one. And so those two were never in question. I ended up also getting the one in the back, and then let's see, and then the one on my left, that was the one he ended up getting.
Yeah.
But I think I had those three, and I think I broke him, and that was the game.
Okay. Yeah, those, I think that's 3 points for each one, right?
Yeah.
There's a general and then there's a break.
Yeah,
Like that's the other 5.
something like
somehow.
that. I think it was something like that.
Okay.
So I think it was either 11 to 3 or 2 or 12 to 3 or 2. I can't remember, but it was a major.
Major, okay.
Yep.
And so that was pool 1.
That was pool 1.
So we're done with that. I don't think, did we do lunch after that? No, not
No,
yet.
we did one more game.
We did one more game. Okay, so then next game here, we roll pool 6, right? And that's the unique pools, which is going to be Fog of War, Lead from the Front, Convergence, and what's the last one? Yep. It's Clash by Moonlight.
Yeah.
Clash by Moonlight. So all the stress is off me now. I'll say that. I lost, so it's like I lost, hard matchup. So now I just like play as good as you can and try to salvage whatever day that I was planning to have. But my goal also was just to kind of like be in the top 50 is what I was, when there was like 100 players, I'm like, I just want to finish like that. What is that, like above average?
Yeah.
And so then I ended up playing, his name was Thomas, and he was playing Battle of Fornost, beautiful army. And he did the build with Earnor, Glorfindel, those are required. And then his third hero was Arenath, the ranger guy, with a bunch of hobbits. So he brought more of like a ranged threat. I played on this board that had a couple of buildings. There was always going to be, regardless of what side, there was going to be some way for me to utilize my Elven Cloak on Legolas. And we ended up rolling Fog of War. I'm trying to recall the scenarios. I think I got rid of Clash by Moonlight because just so many bows from the little hobbits. They hit on 3s. And
Did he have a banner too?
Did he have a banner?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a
Okay,
banner.
so that'd be the other reason, right?
Yeah, and then I think lead from the front is in my favor because I have 2 legends. But yeah, so I think maybe we were debating between lead from the front and that he got rid of convergence. I don't think he wanted to split up, which makes sense. And the hobbits are slow. So it went Fog of War, and that was me defending Legolas because he has an Elven Cloak and is going to be virtually impossible to get to. Picking a terrain feature, and then what's the third one? I have to target one of his guys, and that was going to be Arenath, because my only other target would have been Glorfindel, and he's just a tough cookie to crack, and it's a harder upfield battle. So why would I do that? The Arenath guy was using him as like a might battery, so he kind of kept him centralized, because in that list, Erenor, if he calls moves, he will have to charge heroes if required, and then you're trying to save Glorfindel's might for dealing with Gwaihir. So it's a little bit tough. I always like to go for the little doobie fake out with the terrain piece. So I sent a couple guys off somewhere, and that actually he sent a knight to counter that, and it was fun. We played a little side skirmish. But in the middle, right at the beginning, I had pressure because I had Legolas, so he had to move up. I was also moving up, got Gwaihir into a spot where he could charge eventually, and then we had a scrum in the middle. Legolas was sniping out horses. Good job, Leggy. He was staying nice and safe. I actually wounded his Arenath with Leggy, and he was hoping that I'd kill him. And I think he said he wasn't going to even use his fate if I did it, because in Fog of War, you get more VPs if you kill the target in combat.
Right.
Versus shooting him.
Yeah.
So he was kind of like open to it. He's like, this guy's going to die either way, then I'm just going to let you take him with the...
Yeah.
But Leggy didn't do all that. He did enough. Got me the lead because he got a wound on him, and then we kind of started getting Aragorn back there. He did eventually get some action on Gwaihir, I think. That had to be his target. And I think that was through Glorfindel. I think we did a challenge that I accepted. Hero challenge Gwaihir, and it was fun. And yeah, so that game was, I think, an uphill battle for him because of Legolas being available for me to choose. And then I was able to clog up his knights, take out some horses, so he lost a lot of mobility.
Yeah.
While I was continuing to just push to my terrain piece. So got my terrain piece. Legolas was safe. Took out his. I think I broke him. Yeah, and I'm not sure if I killed Erenor, but
yeah.
Yeah, that was a major.
Yeah, nice. All right, so game 2. Like I said before, I always try to be critical, because this one I ended up losing. It comes down to kind of a last roll thing, but I always try to think of what I could have done differently, right? Yeah. This is the one game I would say, if I had to pick one, that kind of tilted me in the tournament. We ended up playing lead from the front. I had, it was against Cody, and he was playing on table 2 on the last round of the tournament. He was 5-0 playing for second or third. Yeah. He's a good player.
Last Alliance.
Yep. So his last alliance, he had Aristor, Isildur, Elrond, and all elves. No other Numenorians for the Whirl of Blades thing. And so we were playing lead from the front, and I was feeling pretty confident because the one thing that my list does well is make heroes not do anything. And it was all about having heroes in important spots, right? Well, so... the first few turns, he's completely shredding my army. Like he was getting off an okay amount of World of Blades. I would say probably an average amount, and my orcs were just dying like so quickly to his elves. But by turn 3, Aristor was chill sold away. By turn 5 or 6, Isildur was dead, and.
Wow.
Yeah, Isildur was dead, and Elrond had no might or will remaining. Right.
Okay.
So I had and I had my Necromancer in the middle. I had the Witch King on the other side, and Isildur had gotten to my captain.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that one to contest anymore. But Elrond was compelled all the way off into nowhere Like I still had might, he had no might, he had no will, and he was his only hero left, right?
Is which one of his heroes is already dead? Aristor?
Aristor and Isildur are dead.
They both died. Okay.
Yeah.
But then Isildur killed your captain, so that one you're saying is neutralized?
Yeah, because I couldn't get onto the third side.
Yeah, right. Okay. Uh-huh.
But I had 2 of them, and he had broken me, and Elrond was nowhere near where he should have been, right? And I had the might to make sure that that was the case. And we knew this was going to be last turn. And so he got priority. I used my last might on the Necromancer to call the move to go first and make sure to compel Elrond farther away so he couldn't get back.
Yep.
Because there's a chance like he might have been able to. There's a big tree right next to that objective, and I was like, there's a chance like he could maybe hide or dismount and get. If he just dismounted, like it would be harder to get him out of that 3-inch range too, right?
Yeah.
So I called the move, get him away, and I used enough will to where I had 3 remaining. Okay, I think he had about 7 elves in the center, and I had about also 6 or 7. And a couple of his elves were paired off, so like all I needed was a single orc to charge in, and a single orc could take out 2 elves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or tag them.
Tie them up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He whirl of bladed 5 of my 6 hunter orcs.
That were left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Killed them all. So then I was like, shit. Like now he can. Not only can he charge the Necromancer, he can surround the Necromancer because he rerolls courage stuff and everything. Mm-hmm. So he got all of his guys in on the Necromancer and surrounded him. Got 2 wounds on the Necromancer, and that was the game. Because and so like in my head I was like, dude, I don't know if I could have done anything better. Like his heroes were gone, not even contesting anything, and it took 5 whirl of blades.
What happened to the Witch King?
The Witch King was on the other side objective.
Okay.
Just getting me the 4 points.
4 points, and so it was because you broke and then leader?
Broken leader kill. Yeah, and then that also lost me the center one. Because at that time, before he had killed the Necromancer, I was sitting on an 8-3 win because he had broken me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. But it didn't get him the middle one because he had no hero there.
No, but he had broken me and he had killed my leader.
Yep.
And I only had the 1 objective on the side.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that was the one that like kind of tilted me a little bit because I was like, oh my god, like, of course, like the 6s came out and like
whirling.
Yeah, whirling like crazy, and so yeah, that was a little bit of a rough one for me. But
yeah, what's that saying Galadriel says? Like, the fellowship hangs on a knife. It's one of those.
Yeah, that was one of those. And I mean, he was a cool opponent. I mean, he was a cool guy. Like, I was glad he did so well at the tournament. And he told me, he was like, I shouldn't have won that. Like, that was out of nowhere. Like,
yeah, the whirling.
He knew. Yeah. Like, he knew. But that's just how dice go sometimes. And that one was a frustrating loss. Like, I won't lie. Like, that one was frustrating.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that was for pool 6. So then we go to lunch. Mm-hmm. One thing I'll say about Adepticon was Adepticon did a great job. The TOs made a choice to have pretty long breaks in between. The TO, Josh, said the reason was because the con is so awesome. He wants us to experience the con, be able to walk around, do things. There's 108 people at this, right? So you do end up talking to people quite a bit, and that can take time in between rounds. But it's nice to do because, we're a nice community and we want to, meet each other, and it was great. But I also felt like that impacted our games in a really positive way because people were refreshed and they weren't as just going from game to game to game. Allowed people to take a breather. Mm-hmm. So this one was one of those times that I felt like that. Mm-hmm. I ended up playing a guy named Matt. He was playing Defenders of Helm's Deep, mm-hmm. and the pool was rolled, and it was pool 3. So this is going to be the Maelstrom pool. He was playing with Theoden, Gimli, and Legolas. Those were the guys, and he maxed out his bows and throwing spears. So, veto time, sights of power, see ya later. We're not doing that in the dark, mm-hmm. right? I'd like to see at least where I'm going to get everything thrown into me. Mm-hmm. But then the dice, I also lost the roll because so then it was I got rid of that. and he got rid of heirlooms because I have Guahir, and he didn't want me to just grab Guahir and then just like take off with this heirloom. Great decision. Matt's a really cool guy. It was a great game, and I actually met him earlier the day before from doubles. Two of his buddies played doubles, and I got to meet him then. But yeah, the pools were then left was Hold Ground and Command the Battlefield, which I had Dom too, and we ended up playing Hold Ground, which is one of Men of the West, I think, best scenarios because they can just march to the middle for free and then hunker down. But there's obviously factors. Maelstrom, losing that first roll-off is always hard, right? Because if you're having to show your cards first and they get to react to every warband, that's not great. Well, I lost it. I rolled Legolas first. I got a 4, so he picked. I got him set up. Guahir went next. Guahir rolled I think he rolled a 4. And weirdly, just the way the terrain was positioned, I actually do spend a point of might here to get a 5, because the 5 allowed Guahir to land in a spot that was more protected from terrain. I was deathly afraid of just losing Guahir on the first turn due to just getting a volley of throwing spears and bows into me, which you have given me trauma of that before. And it was 36, I think. 17 bows and 16 throwing weapons, I think was the number, which I was just like astonished looking at his list. I'm like, that's a ton, right? So needed to protect Guahir. Got him in between a couple pieces of terrain for a chance at, some in the ways. Aragorn goes and rolls a 2. Cool. So what do we do here? Well, I think you're supposed to spend the 2 points of might to get a 4. But I let him choose. I felt like Aragorn's group, which was 14 warriors of Minas Tirith, shield and spears, and then 2 throwing spears, I was like, okay, let's see how this goes, because now he's going to have some decisions to make, right? If he goes for Aragorn, that's going to be a tough nut to crack. If he doesn't, then Aragorn can march up, hunker the middle with the boys, and then he's going to be dealing with Guahir. And I felt really good about the mobility I had.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? To get there. Because if he has Theoden marching, that's okay, but then he's not shooting as much and things.
Right.
So Aragorn gets put in this corner. Smart, 6 inches from the corner, classic, make me work. And then it was going to be a pinch point between a couple terrain pieces to get the army together. They were never going to get together. He rolls a 1 for Theoden, I think. But that's his marcher.
Yeah.
He spends 2 points of might. But it's 2 points of might.
To get to a 3, or to get to it,
Yeah, to get to a 3, but it lets me pick.
Yeah.
And I actually pick next to me.
Yeah.
My thought was, okay, you're spending 2 points of might, you have 1 left. So I could potentially tie up your marcher on that.
Yeah.
If you do some stuff, I can just move into you.
Right.
I'm getting a free move next turn, right?
Right.
So you're either going to spend a point of might to challenge that move, or you're going to let me walk into you. There's no throwing weapons, and that helps me.
Right.
So I park him next to me in the corner. He kind of moves on his best way he can. Then he rolls Gimli a 5. So Gimli comes on with him to back him up. Then Leggy rolls like a 6 or a 4 and comes on, and now we're all pinched. So Aragorn's here. I got Legolas to my left with his group. I've got Theoden closer to me, and then Gimli backing him up. So the whole gang is right around Aragorn, right?
Yeah.
And he starts lighting me up, right? Shooting me, right? But it's still needing 5s on throwing spears and 4s on the bows, and some of the bows are behind Gimli in the group. So I was able to hold that with Aragorn the whole time. And I got into Gimli, and we fought, and I killed Gimli. And then he was bubbling Theoden because he only has 1 fate, and he only had 1 might. And then Legolas was kind of doing the work, crashing my flank. But all this time is going, and Guahir and Legolas and his group are just huddling around the middle. It just was going to take too long for him to churn through it all. It actually goes somewhat in reverse. Guahir eventually gets over there, starts helping out, and I had the whole middle. Yeah. So it was a little bit of it felt a little predetermined on that one. Yeah. But he still gave me a good game, so it was fun. Yeah. Nice.
Okay, so round 3 for me, I was going against Ted with his Riders of Errol.
Oh yeah, Fields of Celebrant, right?
Sorry, Fields of Celebrant, yeah. And I think he had 16 Sons of Errol, which are beastly profile trips.
Yeah.
They're really good. And Ted's a really good player too. I think he got second in Masters.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so, and again, it was the Maelstrom stuff, so a lot of movement. But the terrain that we were on favored me heavily. There was a lot of woodland terrain. A ton.
Yeah.
And like he was going to have a tough time getting anywhere because of all the pinch points. And my spiders, obviously, they don't care about, they can fly through it. And I had a few Warg Riders, but I mean, it was nothing compared to the amount of cab that he had that would get really pinched in. There was also a couple of really tall like rock formations, like in addition to, so like that would pinch in. So not only was there woodland terrain, there was just like impassable. So there's a few really important choke points on this board, right? And he vetoed first. He vetoed away heirlooms, which I probably would have done too. He was just like, fuck heirlooms. Like, I don't want to deal with heirlooms. And it's perfectly valid, right? I didn't really want to play that either. And then I was choosing between vetoing Command the Battlefield or Hold Ground. Because I only considered Hold Ground because there was a giant woodland terrain piece, not dead center, but if this is dead center, it's like right next to it. It was butted up into it.
Yeah.
So I was like, that could be super advantageous. But again, then I'm like, all he has to do is get his massively killy force in one spot, and I'm toast, right?
Yep.
So I thought about it for a long time, and then I did veto Hold Ground, even though there was that super favorable terrain piece right there. And we rolled, and it was Size of Power.
Yep. You have some bows, right?
I have like 13, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, orc bows. So I was happy with that. Between Sights of Power and Command the Battlefield, I definitely wanted Sights of Power. Not only because of the Dark of Night with my orc bows, but there was the chance that you roll that thing and like everything passes courage checks right next to them, right? Which is awesome for a broken orc force.
Yeah.
Right? So I won the roll off for priority, allowed him to go first with the Maelstrom. He rolled well and was able to deploy all together in kind of one quadrant of the board. And then it was up to me. First roll was Witch King on a 2. And I was like, I don't think I just let him pick, right? Because he had kind of come on in like a bubble on one corner, and there was the chance that he could put me behind him, and there was also he could have just thrown me, wherever. And I saw him waffling about it, and eventually he decided, I'm going to have you come on behind me, because it was a juicy target for him, right? It was the like you get points for killing the next highest model, which which was the Witch King. But like if I win heroic move offs, his force is going to be stuck, like, and it came down to that, right? And so he put me in the back, and I came on, and I think I had 5 bows in that, in that warband. Yeah, so just kind of snuck 5 on, and then bubbled around on one side, and had the bows lined up on a bunch of Sons of Errol, and then
You take any out that first turn?
Yeah. I think I took 3 out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, but also that wasn't just from those 5. It was also
okay.
Yeah,
good.
because
I was gonna say 5 out of 3 is
no. Yeah, we're jumping the gun a bit. But so then I rolled with my captain, also a 2, and I was like, I'm not mighting that, and he just threw me in the far corner.
Yeah.
Right. And I wasn't too upset about it because his force was in my top left. He threw my my captain in my bottom right, and I'm like, well, that's my marcher. That's the one with all the spiders and the war riders. They were fine. They got to where they needed to be.
Yep.
And then I rolled a 5 with the Necromancer, and so again, he's in the top left corner. He had my Witch King come on, and I had the Necromancer come in about halfway up the side, and completely block him out, because there was a mountain. There was a mountain piece that like impassable, and a tiny corridor along the side that was just walled off to him. And so that meant he couldn't even get to like that half of the board because that was his only route through. And I had a bunch of orcs sitting there and the Necromancer now. There was that big mountain piece, and then there was a couple of forests. So my spiders were quickly able to get, not on that first turn, but they were able to clog up those other places. So the entire game, and I did win the heroic move-offs with the Witch King, the entire game, he was not out of that bubble, that top left quadrant until the second to last turn. He was just stuck there, getting shot to death. I kept winning the heroic move-offs. Like a lot of stuff was going my way. Like he struck with his Numenorian king against the Witch King. Yeah. And I was like, I don't care. I'm just banking on rolling the threes. I'm saving the might for the move-offs. And he like wouldn't even win that fight, and I would win it, and then like kill his horse. Like nothing was going right for him up there. It was pretty brutal. Was the Gondorian king on foot, or was he mounted? He was mounted. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Rough. Yeah. It was rough. There was so many things not going his way up there, and like I totally acknowledge that. And I had him bottled for like the entire game, and then on the second to last turn, that's when I broke on the third to last turn. Second to last turn was the first time, like we were rolling the dice the whole time and it didn't matter for the Sites of Power. Yeah. Then the fearless bubble popped up or whatever, passing courage text. And of course he's like, oh my God, like of course, like now that you're broken, like the Sites of Power are fearless because I have my orcs there and they could have ran, right? And again, things going your way. Things going my way. Yes, yes. But what it ended up doing was it extended the game enough to where I didn't quarter because I didn't have to make courage checks with those guys. Yeah. And it gave him time to come out and start contesting. And so on the last turn, it came down to a priority roll. If I had won it, I think I could have, because he had managed to get out and contest stuff. If I'd won priority, I think I could have, depending on how dice went, it was either going to be a draw or a win for me. Okay. I lost priority. I had to do a heroic move with the Necromancer, but he was outside of like the bubble for the guys that needed to charge the Riders of Arrow that were coming up. Yep. Right. So I like compelled away his leader, and I transfixed another Rider of Arrow. So he could only get one guy in to contest one of the sites, but it was enough to contest it, right? And then he got it onto two orcs. I had one orc still there, so I was like, I'm not going to charge in. Like, it could. There was no way to just to clarify. You said by your finger, you compelled his hero away. Yeah. Was there a way to compel forward and block it? Compel and transfix? Because he was coming in from two different sides. Okay, I got you. Yeah. So he had three guys, including his hero, in on one bottom objective, and I compelled and transfixed those two. And then the other one was just free to come in because I couldn't do anything else about that. But if I had one priority, then I could have had the orcs charge that one, and he wouldn't have had anything to contest that. Yep. The other thing was my Hunter Orc captain was just outside of the bubble, the fearless bubble, and of course, what's the theme of this tournament? He rolls snake eyes for his courage check and runs. Nothing fuck. Even that little close. Fuck. He doesn't do anything. All these games, like because he has 2 might and 1 will. Because at this point, I haven't spent anything to march or nothing. He's full kit, right? Yeah. So snake eyes. I think double 4 you're getting in, right? 2 2s. Yeah. You're still alive, right? Because you spend all your might and will. Yeah. Yep. That's rough. So he fails it, and it allows a couple of guys to go in and contest that one. And because I had to spend 1 for a heroic move. Oh, okay. So because he won that priority. If he didn't, then I wouldn't have to call it. But either way, snake eyes didn't matter. Right? Yeah. Right. So if I had gotten that heroic move off, I could have potentially also cleared out that one. So the game ended with a minor loss to me because I had 1 objective. He had the other, both uncontested. The one in my bottom left we pushed because his Rider of Arrow came in and killed 2 orcs, and then I just had 1 orc standing there, so we pushed. And then the one on my top right, I had 2 spiders left on 1 guy, and they couldn't kill that 1 guy. I won the fight, needing, I think it was 4s to wound, re-rolling 1s on 4 dice.
Because you were near the objective thing?
Yeah. Yeah, couldn't get him. So that I still won. I doubled him up, but I didn't get like the 3 for having it uncontested.
Right, yeah. That gave you 2, I think.
I think you get 2 for doubling and 3 for uncontested.
Yeah.
And then he did end up killing the Witch King.
Ooh.
On that turn, and he had broken me.
Got it. Who do you use to get on the Witch King?
He just kept sending in that Numenorian king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Striking up with him or no?
Yeah, but I think he was out of might at that point. It was just down to dice.
Okay.
Yeah. So it ended up being a minor loss. Again, it was kind of on the last turn priority thing for me, but I always try to think, what could I have done better? Because I feel like it's unproductive to just say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. That one, I know I could have won if because on the second to last turn, I had 11 guys remaining, and I needed 10 to quarter. And he mathed it out. He was like, okay, I see 3 guys on this site, 3 guys on this site, 3 guys on this site. That's 9. And then my Necromancer, and I think and the Witch King was still on the board too, and a few other orcs. So he's like, if I don't kill your heroes, there's no way for you to quarter this turn, right? And I'm like, yeah, because it's fearless. So, right?
Yeah.
So now the strategy, I think, for Sites of Power, which I should have done, but I was at this point, it was game 7 in like less than 24 hours or something like that.
And it's Sites of Power. We don't play it a lot.
No, I don't play it a lot. Half the time I feel like we forget to even roll the darn
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
What the strategy is you keep 1 within 3 inches of the potential fearless bubble, and you keep everybody else outside it. So you always guarantee that you have 1 there, but then you have a bunch of chances to fail the fearless, the courage check to stay and then quarter the game.
Right.
Because if I had done that, I'm sure at least 1 of those 2, 4, 6 orcs would have run, and the game would have been over.
Yeah, just
right?
1.
Yeah, just 1.
Because
regardless, if that fearless bubble doesn't pop, well, it doesn't matter if one of the orcs is 4 inches away, or 1 inch away. They need to pass the courage check to get closer, anyways.
Yeah, or to stay there.
Yeah, to stay there. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, so in hindsight, I'm like, okay, if I had just thought of that, it wouldn't have even come down to these 50-50 roll-offs, and I would have won the game.
That's true.
Right. So I didn't. It occurred to me after, because especially in the moment when I was like, oh shit, there's no way for me to quarter. He gets 1 more turn. Now it's getting dicey. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was my round 3.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So then now we're going to go into pool 2, and this is the 4th round of the day.
Yep.
Right? So it's kind of a long day, 4th round. Pool 2 is the killing one. So it's to the death, Lords of Battle, Assassination, and Contest of Champions. I play pretty well into this one, except that I don't have a banner, right?
Yep.
And so that kind of makes to the death almost right off the table.
Yep.
Yeah. Then my opponent, I was playing Daniel, and he was one of the last chance qualifiers, I think, to get into the Masters. Really great opponent. He played Minas Morgul, which is, in my opinion, one of the options as a counter to the Men of the West, because the fighting is just, they wound on 4s against the Minas Tirith guys. You're wounding on 4s. Again, similar to the Hatred, right? It's tough. But the fight value is lower. So he has some Rannons, which he brought, which were great, and then he had some courage check stuff to help with Gwaihir, because he had 2 Spectres and 2 Ring Wraiths. He had the Witch King, and then he brought a 90-point 1-10-1, and then 2 Orc Captains. Brought 2 trackers and had a banner. I think he actually had 2 banners. 2 banners, yeah. So we ended up, what did I get rid of? I got rid of To the Death, and then he was deciding between Lord's Assassination and Contest. And I'm trying to remember what he got rid of, but we ended up playing Lords of Battle.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough decision between Assassination with Legolas.
Yeah, it's always tough with Legolas.
Yeah, and then Contest of Champions when I can pick Gwaihir or Aragorn or whatever. mainly probably pick Aragorn. And so we're playing Lords of Battle, and you know, the good thing is for him, I'd say is 24-inch deployment, right? So he can get right in my face. I win. Depends on what you want to call it. I win the deployment side, so I get to pick my side. Means I'm showing my cards first. So similar to round 3, I got to show my cards first. Well, I put Aragorn up, not right at 24, but he's up there. And some guys are definitely within range that if he wants to slap the Witch King down, he'll be in range of charge. Not to Aragorn. I bubbled him up, but he's good. He gave me priority. Aragorn went up. Then I put Gwaihir isn't an easy drop for me because I always put him right next to Aragorn, so they're within 6 for moves. So that I didn't really feel like I was showing too much. I hid him though. I hid him behind a rock because I was afraid of the compels, right? Getting compelled out. So he was going to be pretty hard to see. We did the discussion around tails and wings, and those can't be used for line of sight.
Yeah.
But then I had Legolas as my last drop, and he kind of hid, and I just needed him to have his cloak, right? Because they got to get within 6 if they want to target him with spells. He just deploys in a straight line across the board, ready to charge, walk up to me. He gave me priority. I said, okay, do you want to call anything? I don't think he didn't call a march, and I just called a free heroic resolve. Because then now even my little peons, you know, if you want to move a man or warrior, you're going to have to spend for it. And I just backed up. I just backed up. We're playing Lords. I'm going to get some shots off early with Legolas. They're going to be reliable, get some kills. And then in the reverse, he only has the 2 trackers, right? But he had the little fell light guys. Yeah. So he moved up. And where he moved up was, in my opinion, pretty aggressive. And he came up, which is good. He needs to get into me. But where he left it was there was 2 in the ways, a Morannon and a spear for the ring wraith, the 90-point one.
Okay.
And he left that, and then Leggy was able to see that, right? And so he pulled a couple guys. I failed both intelligence tests. He moved 2 guys out. I told him that the Minas Tirith guys are a little bit dumber, and I jinxed it. And they were dumb. They were. I think they both double snake eyes, and they went out and just started wandering off into the world, right? But Leggy ends up coming up big, and he rips 3 shots. They all hit. I get him through the Morannon. I think I kill the spear support. So I have 2 dice left, and that have hit the ring wraith now. The first one, I roll a 6. I think I roll a 5. Yeah, I roll a 5. I might it. I get a 3 on the next one. The might rolled over, so it's a wound through. He rolls a 3 on the fate. He spends his point of might to stay alive.
Yeah.
Leggy's got 1 left. 1 shot coming through left. He rolls a 4. Decision time. Yeah. I spend the 2 might. I spend the 2 might, and now that's the 6, and then it rolls over, so I need a 6x2, and I think I rolled a 2, and the guy's dead, right? Yeah. So 90 points, and I'm up 3
on the wound tally,
or something, right? And starts like I'm ahead, and he just lost his double casting. The whole plan with Gwaihir is tough, and it kind of gets a little even more aggressive from there, because on that same turn, he had moved up, I said, a little aggressively, and Gwaihir was able to see 1 Morannon, just 1. I charged that Morannon with Gwaihir while Leggy's ripping shots near the ring wraith, and we go to combat. Yeah. And I said, hey, would you like to call anything? And he's like, I think I got to call a defensive strike, because the barge, I could barge in with Gwaihir and get right into the Witch King and rend him. Yeah. So the defensive strike, he still needs to roll a 5 or 5 or 6 to win. And then he also would just need a 3 or 4 to tie. But I'm like, you know what, dude? This is a long game, and I don't want to just dive bomb Gwaihir in. Yeah. So I called a heroic combat after he called a strike, and I picked this captain, and I just went and just ate him up. So he was now spent a defensive might. with the Witch King.
Yeah.
His other might was already spent from the Ring Wraith.
Yeah. And the captain is gone.
The captain's gone. So this part of the board, even though it's just the Gwaihir by himself, it's really like...
That's like, he's down 4 might turn 1, right?
Down, 4 might turn 1, and the Lords of Battle score is already going heavy in one way,
Because
right?
you get points for hero kills too, right? I think you do.
Yeah, which I think we forgot.
Oh, okay.
Right, because Gwaihir should have got a point of might back from, I think, what is it?
Time
of Heroes, and
Yeah.
I don't think we did that. But regardless, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It just snowballed from there, like immensely, right? And yeah, we had some, he stuck in there, tried to Witch King on the Gwaihir on the side, but then the lines are kind of folding up.
Yeah.
I called for Frodo at the right time, so the Morannons don't even really matter.
Yeah.
It was a tough one. I think Leggy gives the advantage because you have to come to me.
Yeah.
And then when we fight, Aragorn's still cooking in the middle with the boys, right?
Yep.
So, that ended up being a 20-0.
Nice.
Yeah, tabling because I was just tagging heroes at the end and they were all running.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I also played Lords in my round 4 against Army of Carn Doom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which I thought was a favorable matchup for me.
Uh-huh.
And it was in the beginning because I had bows. I think he had 4 orc trackers.
Okay.
But I had 13 orc bows. And
Who is this person? Do you remember this person's name?
I don't remember.
Okay, was he running 3 trolls total?
I think so.
2 or 3 or
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so turn 1, I think he was considering because we deployed in a way to where shooting. If one of us backed up, wouldn't do anything because orc bows are 18 inches, right?
Yeah.
I could tell he was thinking about it. He gave I had priority first, and I just walked up with the Necromancer and chill souled a dude, and he's like, "Oh crap, I'm in the lead now." With he got to come forward.
The tables have turned.
Yeah, and then the Necromancer also. Let's see. He also
compelled.
No. He cursed. Captain.
Oh, yeah, another point. Another point to you.
Yep, exactly, yeah.
Fate is gone.
And so he's like, all right. And it comes up coming forward. And
were these 1 die? 1 die, but then the 2 for the army bonus?
No. I think I threw more because I was like, I needed to guarantee that I had the lead.
The lead, yeah.
Uh-huh. And then so he's kind of marching up and I'm shooting into him. I actually didn't do too many wounds with the bows. He got in fairly scot-free there. But the spiders were doing work. They were paralyzing all over the place. They paralyzed the captain whose fate I took away, and they paralyzed a troll turn 1.
So did they charge in?
No, they just circled. They just flanked. Yeah, rolling natty 6s.
Oh, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, so I feel like the dice were not good to me with my bows, but they were amazingly lucky over there.
With webs.
Yeah, with the webs. But he then stands up with both of them at the end of the round. So it was crazy.
With friends helping, or
I think there was one friend helping both of them.
Okay, that's still really good.
That's
really awesome.
Good. Yeah, so it was 2 really swingy moments, right off the bat.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
But you're in the lead.
I'm in the lead, yeah, and I keep just kind of falling back and shooting, and he keeps coming up. And this is where, and then once we get into combat, I remembered the one good thing about Carn Doom, which was when they charge, everything gets +1 on their fight value.
Yeah, and I think Carn Doom models near Aldrak re-roll.
Yeah.
Courage, which could come up a little.
Yeah, he didn't have any other Carn Doom models.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. It was all orcs and trolls. But so even if I call heroic moves, he was smart and positioned his orcs to where I would move in and get my extra attacks for 100 orcs, and then he would just charge 1 with another orc. So now he's fight 4 to my fight 3.
Okay.
So that was actually really frustrating because I was like, oh, finally, I'm going against someone who I at least tie fight value with, and that just wasn't the case for a majority of fights. It was really
he was getting
hard.
his charges off. Yeah.
Yeah. Because even when I heroic moved, he just had enough models that were far enough back to where they would just come in and.
Yeah, did he use the real hill trolls, or were there any proxies?
He used real hill trolls.
Yeah, those are good models.
Yeah, they were cool.
Yeah.
And let's see. So the Necromancer was just every turn, chill souling and cursing, just giving me like 2 points every turn.
Yeah.
And
killing something.
Yeah, and killing something.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. He was doing really well for me. The fights kind of initially all went to my opponent.
Yeah.
He won a good amount, killed a lot of my guys. I'm like, oh shit! Like I thought I was gonna like double up and like blow him out of the water, but no, because of the fight 4 thing, it just changed the whole dynamic.
Yeah.
And what he could find after a while, he finally got his trolls to. I would say that was maybe the one thing to where it's hard, right? I had a super good caster, so he wasn't quite sure where to position his trolls. But like after taking out a bunch of guys, chill souling and cursing, like then it was a Necromancer's turn to just transfix and compel the trolls around, right? That still left Aldrak to kind of do whatever the hell he wanted, which made up a lot of ground for him.
Yeah, he can cook.
He can cook.
Mm-hmm. On his strategy, I was going to ask you about Aldrak because I have him. Was he charging into 2 and calling the heroic combat, or charging into 1 and then calling the heroic combat and then trying to get the 2?
Yeah, so I think the way it worked out was I charged into him the first round, and he killed both of the orcs that charged him.
Okay.
And so is that when the heroic combat for next turn procs if he kills everyone in his fight?
No,
or
it's
he has
not
to charge, right?
It's not Thranduil. No, I think he gets a free heroic combat if he just kills something in combat the turn before.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So he was charging 1 and then heroic combating into others, I think, most of the time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I had to stop focusing on the trolls and like really try to nail him down with the magic. And he resisted a few times. You got a couple natty 6s. And so I couldn't do anything about Aldrak, really. He was just slaughtering a lot of my dudes. But eventually, like, I got him down. He was out of will, right? And stopped him. And once that happened, the game changed. Like, I got my Witch King in on him after he was transfixed, killed him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tide fight.
Yeah. And at that point, then he broke, and that was it. Like everything of his ran the next round.
With Harbinger up too.
Yeah, with Harbinger.
Yep.
And if and the game ended the first chance it could have, we rolled the 2. If it hadn't, then it would have been a tabling because he was down to like 3 models or something.
So this guy's name is Brock, by the way.
Brock. Okay.
Yeah,
and he was an awesome opponent.
And in the first day, he played round 1 against Mick, and I think Mick was running Necromancer. He was running Rise of Necromancer. Then Brock got 2 wins, and then finished the day against you and the Necromancer.
Yeah. So at the end of the game, I didn't quite double him because he'd gotten enough wounds and kills on my army. And he had broken me, but I had my heroes in places to where they were providing their standfast.
Yeah.
And I had might left on the board. He did not, so I was able to heroic move and provide that standfast, and he did not. So it was just kind of it swung pretty crazy once he was broken.
Did you get to get the Necromancer into a hill troll and kill it?
I tried. It didn't work.
Okay.
Yeah, dice just said no.
Yeah. And he has 4.
Yeah, on a trap. Yeah.
Huh?
If I trap, yeah.
No, he has 4 on because you're charging with infantry, right? So if he's engaged with infantry, he can reroll 1?
Yeah, I made sure to get the Hunter Captain in there too, on his warg. So there was a Cav model in there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Does that turn it off?
I think so. But
Okay.
I'm not sure if either way, he rolled the 6 the first time anyway, so he didn't even need to reroll, and I did not, so.
Yeah, right.
But he was transfixed. I didn't just charge the Necromancer in with the chance of getting smacked around.
Yeah,
I
right.
Transfixed him, then charged in. But yeah, dice said no. So.
Right, yep.
Didn't get a chance to get that drained soul off, but his trolls all ran the next turn anyways. So, and when a troll runs, that's 3 points. So,
Yeah,
300%
100%.
or whatever.
I was going to ask you on Lords of Battle, how does the Witch King work? Like, do they keep getting a point every time they kill it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that would make sense, right? Yeah, so that could be.
Yeah, it could be a might battery for my opponent if I play it wrong. It just keeps coming back.
He's
getting
like,
punched
perfect.
into the ground.
More kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More kill, more might. More kill, more might.
Oh, yes, because it's a hero.
I'm a hero.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So Aldrich could literally just stand around and smack him like the whole game and keep getting his might back and killing him.
Free heroic combat.
Yeah.
Right, and then he's getting a free.
Then free heroic back into the
Oh man, I didn't think of that. That's crazy.
No, Witch King's actually pretty bad in that type of scenario.
That one random one. Yeah. Okay. Well, we go to bed, and that's the end of the first day. I'm 3-1, and you're 2-2. 2-2. Okay,
Yep.
so then, by the way, we had this one funny moment. I think it was after round 2, where we were both 1-1, and right, we were both 1-1, and on the rankings we were 47 and 48. We were really worried
that we had to play each other.
of all like 108 people that are playing, and we were the only 2 from our community that came.
Yeah.
That would have been really crappy.
been
So
rough.
thankfully we didn't.
Yeah.
Avoided that. And so that means we go to round 5.
Yep.
Me and Nathan went getting a nice dinner. Then we wake up the next day and we are looking at what are our chances or what are the situations that could come up. And it was looking pretty lined up that I'd be playing Julian, who you face in the Masters.
Yep.
And he had switched over to a different type of bird. These were straight eagles.
Yeah.
And if you guys are tracking, only pools left are pool 4 and 5. So we did some discussions about what I should lean into and what, because these were going to be pretty tough in my opinion. Mobility, maneuverability with eagles, and they can just take off the board, seize the, take the camp, whatever. I don't get that one. So we're playing, we don't get pool 5 until the last round. So it's pool 4, which is still really, in my opinion, a really good one for the Eagles because there's seize the prizes, there's retrieval, there's treasure hoard, which they're super intelligent and they're not beasts, so they can pick them up, and then destroy the supplies, which I don't have a banner. So me and Julian sit down, get ready to do this. Me and Nathan had already kind of gamed up what the potential best situations are. So I decided to get rid of treasure hoard. It was going to be really, it was taking a lot for me to try to convince Nathan that that one was actually a decent one for me. And then we realized I get a veto one, so I got rid of that.
Yeah.
And then Julian smartly got rid of destroy the supplies because I think you just have to spread out too much. And
it's impossible for him to defend his stuff and go.
Right. And I can pretty much go and try to get all of it with just Gwai here, I think, while I'm defending it with Legolas and it's just not enough models, right? So he only has might in one area. So then it was between seize the prizes and retrieval. Yeah. Again, he still has to defend and attack for retrieval, and then seize. That one is tough. Yeah. Because he can fly up and get 2 on the first turn. Yeah. I confirmed with him that mathematically you cannot get 3, just based on where Gwahir needs to be, and then where you can deploy within. Yeah. I don't think the math was math in there for him to get 3. So this is where the game got a little interesting because the first turn's a big deal in Seize the Prizes, especially when everyone's got flappy wings and stuff. So first turn, I win priority, I keep it, and I asked him if he wanted to call anything. He opted not to. And I decided to fly. I marched with Aragorn to get my infantry block closer to the far right one, and then I pretty much had to sacrifice Gwahir by dive bombing him into the middle one, which I knew he would take attack from. Because if he picks up the objective, that base is gone, so I'm not protected by that base, and then that means mathematically he can get 2 into me, one of them being Gwahir. So he brought Gwahir and a friend, but I was still within 6 of Aragorn because to participate in the march, you got to stay within 6. So I had my banner. I chose to call a defense, even with the high defense, he would knock me prone because the Eagles get +1 strength. So I did not want to be on the ground with Gwahir with the objective. I decided to just roll it. My 4 dice got a 6. A lot of dice did not get a 6, and he chose to not spend the point of might. So I barged his Gwahir back, and I barged the other eagle closer to my Aragorn and my lines. And then I went back into that eagle, with Gwaihir, and I think I took a wound off of him or something like that, rended him or whatever. But now I have the middle one. He had the far left one, and then the right one was still up for grabs.
Yeah.
And I think he calls. It just becomes a really quick game of him calling a move. I think he gets that side one. Mm-hmm. But that was like, in order to get it, you have to move end your turn. It's not a light object. It's you got to dig it up. So it's there, and then Aragorn was able to get closer.
Yeah.
And we did a whole move off dance. This game eventually leads to a discussion around a certain rule, which is a light object, can it be moved twice in a turn or not? And the rule says you can only move a light object once. Mm-hmm. So if your eagle flies, right, with a light object and calls a heroic combat, technically he cannot go with the object to somewhere else. He cannot technically barge either and move it twice. So that was an interesting little gamey piece for both sides to have to feel, because my Gwaihir had one and then his eagles had them. Mm-hmm. But you can play around it because you can call the barge or the heroic combat, drop it. And that's the only time it's been dropped. Yeah. Right? So you can drop it and then go and do your barge or your heroic combat. This game just came down to I had more bodies. Aragorn can kill eagles. He doesn't have that much might. He ends up getting his birds, winning some. He won every move off in this game, which I know there's only 3, but he also 7-2 on priority rolls. Yeah, that's really rough, right? Especially when I'm already having a mighty hero. Yeah, we put a tracker. I won the first 3 priorities. And he started tracking it. Then he won. Then right when he put it out, it went away. Yeah. So that was what made it tough. And then Aragorn with Gwaihir, I can always kind of keep up with him. Yeah. And it allowed me to stay in the game, kill some birds, and then it just snowballs when the birds die. Yeah. I got I think 2 of them off the board quick. At that point, he consolidated all his birds back. He flew back and had them give Gwaihir all of the objectives, and his whole plan was to take off. Mm-hmm. But my Gwaihir and Aragorn can catch him if I'm winning priority. So I did that. His poor Gwaihir got super close to the halfway point of the board. Yeah. My Gwaihir dives into him. At this point, by the way, Gwaihir had already dropped the objective and given it to a random dude to take off the board. So I have 4, and right now he has 4. Yeah, I think,
because he's not on your half yet.
Not on my half yet. But he tried to get it there. Yeah. I had still might over here. I get into him. The game's about to end. Yeah. And Gwaihir had 2 wounds left. Mm-hmm. I win the combat. I rend. I need 2 4s to table him and to swing the objectives in my favor. And I rolled a 4-3-2-1. So I got 1 wound, but I didn't get 2. I didn't have any might left. Mm-hmm. So the game ended 8-4. Still a major, but that was a really tight game. And a tough one in regard to the scenario pool with the opponent. Yeah. And Julian's a really good player. You faced him. He's got the birds down. Yep. And he won an Adepticon last year.
Yeah. So he's a good player. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Sounds like a good win. So my round 5 was against Reclamation of Osgiliath. Oh, nice. And we same scenario pool. So I veto. Destroy the supplies for obvious reasons, because I do not have a banner, and he has the ultimate banner.
The ultimate banner, dude.
I can't remember which one he vetoes. We end up playing Retrieval. Okay. And he deploys fairly passively, and I think he was big scared of the Necromancer and what he could do to his heroes. Mm-hmm. Understandable, right? So he deployed his heroes way back, and I deployed all up on the half the
triangle.
Yeah, I don't know how to call that, the midline, but it's diagonal. And initially, my first drop, I had was the Witch King, and I had a few archers just surrounding the back, because I was I want to protect it. I'm still going to try to push, but I want to be able to protect it. But his guys were never in any position to contest my back objective. He had quite a few of the knights too, but they were all in Boromir's warband, and he deployed very passively with Boromir to make sure I couldn't screw around with him with a Necromancer. So that meant all of his knights were like behind his objective almost.
Yep.
So I had my Hunter Orc captain and some spiders and Warg Riders on one side, a bunch of Hunter Orcs and the Necromancer and the Witch King in the center, and then just a few more spiders and Warg Riders on the other side, mightless, but still just kind of like flanking around.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just charge up the front. And he sits back and shoots me quite a few times. I take a few casualties, but I just keep going forward. And then eventually he wins priority. I don't call a move. And he comes in and he tags like my whole front line, one on everything, including he got a cav in on the Witch King.
Okay.
Boromir and most of his cav are still not in the game quite yet. They're sitting back. They're kind of like waiting, I think. I think he's waiting for a moment to just charge through or something. I'm not quite sure. But I could tell he hadn't had too much experience with a Necromancer. And I think a lot of people just don't have a lot of experience with Chill Soul in general, right? Because Necromancer Chill Soul's the knight that had charged the Witch King. Now the Witch King's free. Witch King snakes in and pretty close to the objective, by the way, tags a single knight, and I'm ready to call a heroic combat and get to the object, right? Okay. And he realized like immediately, like, oh, that's a big problem, because he thought he had everything protected, but the way he charged, it was like everything in the front was engaged, so there were no like control zones that the Witch King even had to avoid. I just got him as far up as I could and tagged somebody. Yep. And I called the heroic combat. He flubs the roll, doesn't go off. The knight kills him, and I'm like, oh well, whatever. Because
he charged it, or no?
No, I charged. He got the 6, killed the Witch King.
Okay.
It's terrible. And then the Witch King rolls a 1 on his resurrection, and I'm like, this is how it goes. So I spend the will from the Necromancer to keep him alive. Of course, but then he comes back 3 inches from there, so he's literally touching the objective at that point. Which I don't think you can grab it. He can grab it because it wasn't during his move. He's touching it, but it was at no point during a move. Okay. So we played it that he hadn't grabbed it yet.
Yeah, that seems right.
Right. So then it comes down to a move off. Because Boromir's like right there. I told you, he's like sitting there like waiting for his moment this whole time. This is his moment. Well, I won the...
Your turn, buddy.
Yeah. I won the roll-off, which, 50-50. And so the Witch King snags it and then runs behind. There was a Rohan house, and he could get tucked in so that Boromir couldn't see him for that charge. So he's like... runs with Boromir and a bunch of knights and just has the Witch King surrounded. But I've moved the object, right?
Yeah, that's what you need to do.
Yeah. And I just keep trying to push up closer so that I'm still in range with the Necromancer, so for the resurrection stuff, right? And all this time, my Hunter Orcs are absolutely slaughtering his Minas Tirith warriors. Probably the only game I've had where the tin cans just like folded like butter to the Hunter Orcs. Hunter Orcs hit hard.
Wasn't in shield wall. Banner was too far away.
His banner was nowhere to be seen. He was still in shield wall, in pockets, because he had a lot of troops. But I mean, I had priority most of the time, so I was picking like the middle part to get rid of the shield wall as often as possible. Also, spiders paralyzing really screw up shield wall.
Yeah, they do. Must be standing.
Yeah. So yeah, he ended up getting broken fairly quickly. I think it was the only game. No, it wasn't the only game. My first game too. Most of the games I was breaking. This game I didn't break. Okay. And he kept like ramming into the Witch King. Somehow wasn't able to do anything, and then I was able to get my Hunter Orc around. And, like, I was able to keep peeling off Boromir with the Hunter Orc captain. Oh, like, okay. Yeah, so I got the Hunter Orc captain that was flanking the whole time.
Well, he has fell sight.
He has fell sight, and he heroic combated into Boromir to, like, kind of peel him off and save the Witch King. And that's how the game ended, with the Witch King kind of just, like, stuck. Yeah. And, like, surrounded and But yeah, I had it.
So now you're back in the win column. You're 3-2.
3-2.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think you still win that one because you weren't broken. He was broken, and you had at least moved his. So it wasn't like, yeah, you got to be aggressive on that one, right?
Yeah.
You have to
just move it. Yeah.
Well, no, on both sides, right? You have to attack, right? Because otherwise, you're going to face the whole opponent's army. In one spot.
Yep.
And they have the advantage of being super close to your objective. So, when you're talking about being critical.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking about this in a general sense. When you have to do an attack and a defense type of scenario, you're doing a huge disservice to just play one way, because
if you have to err on one side, you err on the side of attacking, because otherwise you don't really have a chance.
No.
I don't think.
And then those things that you're talking about, those 50-50 roll-offs, with the Boromir and the Witch King, well, yeah, you're living on that because to get in, right?
Yeah.
And his arm, you were able to break him, right? Because you were able to bring the full front of your force, So it's tough. Those are tough, and especially in tournament times and when you have magic to face, it is tough. So, yeah. Did he have Faramir near?
He didn't have Faramir. He had...
Oh, he didn't have Faramir at all?
No, he just had captains.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a lot of guys.
Okay, so that changes things for how I was viewing, because I'm like, he should have been less cagey with Boromir.
Yeah, because he could spend
Faramir.
that,
yeah, that wasn't even in play.
No.
Oh, okay. I get it now. All right, so now we're in the final round. And I'm sitting at 5th. Yeah, before that against Julian, I was 13th. Julian was 14th. Then that win got me up to 5th. So, yeah, I wasn't really that aware of that, to be honest. But I can look back on it now. And so there's a couple tables ahead of me, and then I'm playing Sam, who you played. So he's playing the same thing as Halls. And is also a really tough matchup for Men of the West, because they just are so strong at fighting. They have +1 to wound, so they can really get in there. They have a Fight 7 hero with an Elven Blade to match Aragorn. But then, and they have the Whistlers, but they don't have the mobility factor that Gwaihir has, or the March.
And the scenario pool kind of required that.
Yeah, and I think of all the pools, I think that's probably Hall's weakest one, because it's mobility, and to build the list the way you do, you're either leaving Tariel at home and bringing a captain, or you're committing a lot of models to the Knights. Yeah. Right? He had one Knight. He had 2 of the Sentinels. Yeah. But I did know that he had no March. Yeah. Right? So we set the game up, and it's the maneuver one, so it's recon, storm the camp, escort the wounded, and divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer, yep.
So divide and conquer and storm the camp allow me to trigger my Dom, too. But then, escort the wounded allows me to use Gwaihir's picking up the heavy object and then spread out. So I decided to get rid of storm the camp, because I felt he could have just camped back there, and that's fine, he could have, and I would have had to have been sending it to get in there. Yeah. And I was like, I'm just trying to play to win, I don't want to have that be an opportunity. Right. Got rid of it. He got rid of divide and conquer. I think he didn't want the Dom too. I double checked with him and asked him that we were leaving escort the wounded in, because I feel like that one was really favorable. Yeah. Because of Gwaihir, and because I have March. Yeah. We end up getting that one. Yeah. Right. And I think recon could have been tough too for him, but also he could have just sat back again and maybe
a lot of those scenarios are tough for him.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will say that straight up credit to Sam, because this was an uphill battle. Yeah. And it was going to be his toughest pool, and he gave me a hell of a game. We play escort the wounded. This is one of the rare times that I did not put Gwaihir next to Aragorn. Aragorn split his force so that he could have everyone touching the objectives to start, and I was ready to march them up. Yeah. And then Gwaihir's off on his own. But what I made sure to do was defend my 2 sanctuaries or whatever, right? So I actually spent 6 Warriors of Minas Tirith covering the sanctuary. 4 off to the one that had I knew was going to have no might. Yeah. And then 2 over behind kind of Aragorn. I'm like, if he can work through Aragorn, I'm just going to time up and slow him down. Yeah. But then the side that had 4 was the one with Gwaihir. I knew Gwaihir wouldn't just be there all game. Right. He was going to move around. This is where the game kind of pivoted early on. I had marched up. I knew I was going to get some shots into me Tariel, bows, wood sentinels, leggy. My only response there is leggy.
Right.
I do get a wound in on his Tariel. He just took it. So trying to take some resources off her, but he was able to get rolled a 5 on a warrior of Minas Tirith, and he spent a point of might to kill it. And he told me later that the plan there was to just start getting my numbers down and whittle me down.
Yeah.
But this is a movement scenario.
Yeah.
So you're not just gonna fight. We gotta move. So I was always gonna be marching up closer, and I eliminated turns for him to shoot me.
Yeah.
But that 1 point of might really changed my mentality of what I was gonna do with Gwaihir. The plan was to take Gwaihir, drop off the guy, and then come back for some fun in the back. But there was this big house, and I was measuring it out. He actually measured it out for me. And it was like, oh, this is going to take you 2 turns to get over here. So the first turn, another turn, and then another turn.
Yeah.
That's a long time to put 150 off the board, right?
Yeah.
So after he set the point of might, I just pivoted Gwaihir to be 7 inches outside of his whole army.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of tucked behind some terrain a little bit so it wasn't just going to get volleyed into.
Right.
But that really changed the mentality for me because now with 2 might on Tariel, his only other might in that area is going to be Thranduil. He's going to need might for other stuff. If I'm getting Thranduil to be the one calling moves, that's good for me.
Yeah.
Tariel's going to need 1 to strike up to even match Gwaihir, and then she's only going to have 1 left to do wounds or to win the fight.
Yeah.
Gwaihir's on full kit.
Right.
So eventually I do bomb Gwaihir in. He strikes up to a 9. He had a bunch of traps, or not a traps, but he had a bunch of area to wall me off, and he had a bunch of guys in, but I called a defense.
Yeah.
Thranduil was over there to help with Banner, but Aragorn's now churning through, and I was going after the shield elves.
Right.
Right? Because I think like the spear elves in the back are D5, and then his bows are D5, and I'm willing to just make that trade, right, with the 6-inch banner, and spear supports and stuff like that. So, yeah. That game started getting a little tight in the middle, and I will say this, his Legolas let him down big time. He just didn't produce. He was rolling 2s highs with the friend, and it's like, I'm not mighting that. There's nothing I can do. So his Legolas didn't really help, and then the might situation in the middle got a little gnarly because Gwaihir and Aragorn were able to be in there.
Yeah.
I do eventually challenge Thranduil. He has to accept that was a plan to, again, keep the might, keep the whole army together.
Yeah.
If he's calling moves, that means no one's going towards the objectives.
Right.
They're stuck, right? They're either not moving or they're staying.
Yeah.
And then Leggy was picking off guys that were carrying it. And then eventually, that group of 4 that I sent, I was like, hey, I'm not even going to let you even try to have, you're not going to make it. But what I'm also not going to let you do is actually have guys on it to score points. So they came out, and it was like a cool skirmish at the very end, like final turn. I had 2 warriors of Minas Tirith on each one of his elves, and I killed both of them.
Oh, yeah.
So that objective sat idle.
Yeah.
No points. And then Gwaihir and Aragorn deleted Thranduil. He broke. And I had all 3 of mine. I didn't put any in the sanctuary. I just had them all touching a model on his side of the board.
Right.
So it was a 14-6, and we actually played a dice down. Josh came over, told us, I guess we were one of the last games, and then we did a little, so that we'll just leave that there. So that's where the game ended.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. And so another major win, right?
Yeah, that was 14-6. Yes, another major.
Yeah. All right. So my last game also was Escort the Wounded. I came up against Eli and his Lothlorien, which is a tough matchup. He's resistant to magic. He also has casters.
Yeah.
He's got the Sentinels causing terror if he needs or whatever. So we play Escort the Wounded. That one.
Did he have any March?
He did. He had one captain.
Good for him.
He had
brought
one
March.
captain.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. He had a captain. He had Rumil, and he had Celebrant.
Yeah. Okay.
Early on, he doesn't call a march. I do, which surprised me, but he saved it for Killy reasons. And so I had marched with my captain and on my left side, and so that one was, much farther along than everybody else. My center and my right one, the terrain was interesting. There was a few big buildings placed to where whoever moved first kind of had to commit, because it was like one of those like long Rohan houses that someone had built, kind of like they put like a couple of houses together. Yeah. Right. So and it funneled. So there was like this channel on the side, or there was kind of an open middle. Okay. And so whoever moved first, it was kind of like, okay, am I committing to going this way because you could bottleneck me, or vice versa? If I leave it open, then you're just going to come down here and be uncontested. And because the building was so long, it was not easy to get around it and react, right? Yeah. It was an interesting little game. And so the Witch King, I decided to send the left objective up the side with my marching captain, and then the 2 objectives I decided to send up the middle, not off to the side, which I think in hindsight maybe was the wrong decision, because he ended up coming into the middle and spending all of his might on heroic combats and heroic moves, so that he didn't have any might like on the side of the board over here. Okay. So if I had gone that way with the Witch King, it was getting to the sanctuary. Yep. But what I didn't want was him to come down the side with his objective, and I wanted to funnel him into the middle, because the Necromancer could then have control over all 3 of his objectives, basically. Chill, souling, compelling, like whatever. And so that's what I wanted. I wanted the Necromancer to have the most control he could have. And so I kind of sent the Witch King and I wouldn't say excessive, like 6 orcs up the side, and I was like, okay, if you want to just come down that way with a few elves, like you can. But he chose not to. You have might. Right, I have the might. Yeah, Yep. And so he went that way, and I had already sent my other one up the center. And so what ended up happening was my Witch King was out of place for about 1 turn. And that's really all it takes in a game, like to make a misplay where in the center I lost heroic move-offs every time with my Necromancer. Okay. So he eventually got in and like tangled him up. And then the Witch King was about a turn slow to provide his might for heroic moves, right? And so because I had misplayed and got him out of position, and because I lost like the last like 5 turns of priority and heroic move-offs, so it was like a double whammy. Yep. But because I didn't have my Witch King in there to contest it, it allowed him to push forward enough to where the game ended with him just barely squeaking out a win. But because he early on in the game, he spent all three of his heroes spent a might for heroic combat. I marched up forward. He was kind of slowly creeping forward. Celebrant called the heroic combat, and I just sent my my spiders and wargs forward, just sacrificial lambs. I was like, I'm just blocking it so you can't move farther than a couple inches this turn, and I got all of my objectives onto his half of the board before he was even close to like my half of the board. Right? Fighting on choosing the point to fight. Yeah, exactly. So I knew those guys were going to die, but it cost him a turn of movement. Yep. And so that's what happened. He heroic combated, and it allowed the guys who were heroic combated to come up into me, but the objectives, they had to stay back there. So, and that's kind of what ended up happening was I got mine all on the half, or just over, and he kept winning priority and heroic move-offs, and my Witch King was out of position to contest anything. So turn 1, right? Turn 2 is when the heroic combats all happened. He was down 3 might, and he only had 2 left with Celeborn, 1 and 1. 4. Yep. And I think Celeborn, I think he might have had to use that one to win a fight at some point. So he only had 2 might in the center and 1 on his captain for heroic moves.
Okay.
And I had my 3 with the Necromancer, so I was like, okay. And I was planning on the Witch King to get back there, and I was like, I have control of this. I have like 6 might here, and you have 2, like for the heroic move offs, right? But it just like it didn't. He won the first 2, which were so crucial because of where my Witch King was positioned. It was just I just pushed too far to the side with him.
Okay.
If I hadn't done that, I have a feeling he might have just brought his objective down that way, and then the Necromancer couldn't have done anything about it.
Yeah, it's hard in retrospect to like. No.
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it came down to like that priority stuff. If I had won any of them, if I had just won priority, his things wouldn't have come across the center because I would have been able to tag it. He kept being able to creep it forward.
Yep. And you're getting your 2 attacks, which could matter.
Yeah, exactly. And the one time, once the Witch King finally did get there and call the heroic moves, the Necromancer tries to chill soul an elf carrying an objective. He resists it. Tries to compel the other elf carrying the objective. He resists it. So it was just
those are those resists.
It was too late. Yeah.
Same with the Shire. Like you face that list that has resistant.
Yep. So I mean. Yes, it came down to dice in the end on that loss, but if I hadn't had that misplay of sending the Witch King a little too far to the side, I would have just been in complete control with Might when he didn't have it. So,
right.
Yeah, it would have been nice to win one of those priorities, but that's how it goes. So it ends with a loss, so I ended the tournament 3-3.
3-3. Okay.
Yep.
I finished 5-1.
Nice.
Pretty good. So that last win took me to 3rd. So Richard got 1st with Men of the West. Connor got 2nd with Men of the West. Connor, I think, beat your opponent, the last Alliance guy.
Cody, yeah.
And then I beat Sam with a major. So lost my first game and then won 5 majors. I feel like overall got exactly what I wanted out of Adepticon. Amazing games. I played a ton of games. Got to meet a lot of people. I faced 3 of the Masters players in the event, which was nice to kind of see where I stack. Everyone was great. I like to play competitive, so when I was getting matched there, it felt good. You know, like these were really good games. The con was massive.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
What did Josh say? Like it was like 1.3 million square feet of gaming or something like that.
Yeah, and the relocation added 1 million square feet.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I really like the location, like it being central. I think that's one of the big draws of like how they were able to get to 108 players was that Milwaukee, relatively for North America, is centralized because there is a big Canadian presence for Middle Earth. There's a couple different communities, and then unfortunately not as big of a scene I think that we've seen from Mexico, right? So for it to be more north but central was great, and I think that showed up with the diversity of the communities that were there. That was kind of more of like one of my highlights was just meeting everybody.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Yeah. All my opponents were great. Thank you guys all for your games. Yeah, we'll be trying to come back and do some more videos soon. Me and Nathan got some hobbying stuff we're going to share, and I'm building the board for our June GT.
Nice.
And that'll be the 5th one to the collection. It'll be fun. Add it up.
Yep.
Don't know what I'll be playing. I won't be playing Men of the West anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's retired.
It's retired. It's retired. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like Rise?
Yeah. I've been kicking around in my brain what I need to do to make it better, and I think it's more spam. I think it's forget the spiders, forget the Warg Riders. Came up a different 750 list. It was Necromancer and 3 Hunter Orc captains on foot, and then 54 Hunter Orcs.
Yeah. I was going to say the same thing.
I think
the
that's
spiders.
the way to go.
But see, we say that in retrospect again, and I will say this because you planned for a couple type of armies that were supposed to be there, and they were not.
No.
Depths was not there really, and you paralyze one Balrog, and it could be doing nothing, right? Then you touch it with the Witch King or the thing, and it's gone, right? That wasn't there.
I never faced eagles. Like I never faced ants. Anything big with. Ants was in the meta really army, but yeah, Eagles and Balrog were like 2 that I was planning on. I was thinking there'd be more of that Crevane spam stuff too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, anything that has just even one fate, it's, you chill or you curse it, and then you can.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think there's a little bit of a matchup dependency there in different lists.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, the spiders were fine. Like, they just every game it came down to like me being broken and my opponent not really. And so I'm like, well, I'm just gonna have more models so I can't break. Because the Necromancer is amazing. Like he is so good.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just like he just needs more time to control the battlefield. So.
Yeah, and his point value kind of stayed the same, right? Like it went down actually. Was he 250 and he's 200? Yeah, he's
so
like a good model.
200. He can cast twice. These spells are amazing. Yeah, he's really good.
And I will say this: I was surprised the Men of West trio at the top. There was a lot of Men of the West players, but I was expecting to see some more of like their harder counters. And I don't know if there are any hard counters, but I think there's some lists that counter it pretty well that I didn't feel like were as prevalent at the event.
I also had planned for Men of the West. Like, we had a lot of practice games, and Necromancer does a good job of shutting down Gwaihir. Like, you kind of have to keep him near Aragorn with that resolve. It limits what you can do with him.
Right. Then I'm not moving, and then you're getting 2
but
guys in charge.
I didn't go against Men of the West in the GT. So.
Right. And you did against Zach.
Yeah.
And you did get to do some cool stuff with the spiders and the...
Oh, yeah. Paralyzed the bird, killed Gwaihir. Like, it went exactly as I thought it would.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. Thanks, guys. Feel free to comment or anything. If you guys have any questions, we're happy to talk about this a little bit more. But 10 out of 10 experience for Adepticon. We'll definitely be back.
Yeah, definitely.
Down in Goblin.